Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats never cease to amaze me. See, the lower they go, the stupider they act, and just the more pathetic they behave. It's like, can they get any lower? Can they get any more pathetic or dumber? And just when you think, no, they can't, this is it. They seem to cross the line. They get more dumb, more stupid, more uneducated, more desperate and pathetic. See, they've been attacking Donald Trump for over a decade. They've been attacking his businesses, his presidency, and every single thing that he's done. It hasn't worked. So they had attacked his administration. That hasn't worked either. Then they attacked his supporters. Didn't work either. Now they're attacking Melania. Now they are calling for the deportation of Melania Trump and Trump's children like Ivanka and Don Jr. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrats are so pathetic and so desperate because nothing they do works. Let's attack Melania, the first lady. But when we ever criticized Jill Biden, oh, she's off limits. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up. Subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from? And leave a heart emoji in the comments for our beautiful First Lady, Melania Trump. So this was Joy Reid. Really quickly, I want to just kind of show you what they're talking about. So Joy Reid suggests Democrats could denaturalize and deport Melania Trump. Quote, she's out of here. Reid also suggested deporting the president's children during her interview with Democrat squad member Representative Pramila Jayapal on Thursday. This is what Trump said. They're new to our country. He was talking about people that are not natural-born citizens who, like me, you come here legally, then you become a citizen, but then these people become criminals, break the law. And I know a lot of people like that. And when I look at them, I'm like, man, you're ruining it for the rest of us. So if you're not a natural born citizen, maybe you should be deported if you are committing crazy crimes.
This idea of denaturalization, right? Because my mother was a naturalized American as well. The question is, do some of your colleagues on the other side of the aisle understand how far this goes? If you give the president of the United States monarchical-like powers to say, I don't like your views, I don't like your take on issues. I don't like that you're too liberal. You're not conservative enough. I'm just going to take away your naturalized citizenship. Well, the next, if we ever get a Democratic president, they could say, I don't like Melania Trump. She wasn't born here. She was born in Slovenia. She is a naturalized citizen. She's out of here. And by the way, Ivana Trump, the late Ivana Trump, who's buried in the golf course in New Jersey in Donald Trump's golf club, she wasn't an American citizen. And 3 of her children are Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. And maybe the next Democratic president says, you know what? I don't like the Trumps. And so we're going to denaturalize all of the Trump children whose mother was a foreigner at the time. Marco Rubio's grandfather actually overstayed a deportation order in the 1960s. And it was not until 1972 that he got his papers right. He was confronted by by Jorge Ramos, who confronted him with his own father having an immigration issue, but he's not being deported. And his parents were born in Cuba, and they were not citizens when he was born. Vivek Ramaswamy, same thing. Neither of his parents were citizens when he was born. He's technically an anchor baby. So you could go on and on and on. Myself, my mother was not a citizen at the time I was born. She became a citizen later. This opens a huge door, Congresswoman, because that means that any future president can decide that they don't like the Trumps and don't want them here and want Melania gone, and they could just denaturalize and deport her, and she'd be out of here.
No.
See, the difference between you, Joy Reid, and the difference between us Republicans and you Democrats is we're not saying deport somebody just because you don't like them. We're not saying deport them because they're from a different political association or affiliation than I am. We're not saying deport someone just because they see the world and politics differently than I do. We're saying judge every person individually according to their action, not their faith, not their religion, not their political views, not their family like you. Somebody might not like the Trumps and say, you're out of here. We're not saying deport somebody because of their last name. We're saying deport them because of the crimes they commit individually, not an entire family or a base or a religion, creed, or whatever. We're talking about individual instances. Here's a great example. I know a family. They came here from Ukraine maybe 20 years ago. A family of 9. Mom, dad, 7 kids. So they had 5 girls, 2 boys. Now, 6 of the 7 children, upstanding, went to school. They got businesses, over time got married, had children. They're citizens. But one of them, the oldest boy, he got into messy situations right off the bat. And he was in and out of juvie, then jail, dropped out of school, and then the whole family became citizens. And then later down the road, the guy got a 10-year prison sentence as a citizen for assault. Then he got out and recommitted crazy crimes. See, he should have been deported. He shouldn't have gotten out because now he's back in prison, doing a much longer stance. Now, that is what we're talking about. That's the difference between us and you, the totalitarian Democrat Party. You, the dictatorship party. And if someone wants to say, some liberal maybe might watch this in the comments, the Democrats aren't dictators, you Republicans aren't. No, we actually voted for Trump. We actually had a primary that Trump won. And then he got the nomination because we voted for him to get the nomination. Your party took Kamala. Well, first you guys voted for Biden. He got 14 million votes in the primary election. Then Trump whooped him like a father whoops his child when he misbehaves in front of the whole world to see on that debate stage just over a year ago. And then what you guys did was, you know what? We're going to tell our base who they're going to vote for. That is dictatorship. That is totalitarianism. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a dictatorship. And the Democrat Party is a dictatorship. They don't care what their base wants. They don't care who they vote for. They're going to tell you who to vote for, what to believe in, who to listen to, and how to behave. So no, we're not going to just deport anybody because of their last name or what they believe or how they act. We're going to, we are going to deport them based on how they act. That's the difference between you guys and us. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Pray for the Trumps. Pray for Melania. Pray for our nation. God bless.